if I turn away, then he starts to feel much more comfortable with my presence. So all of that stuff's really important. And then the emotional indicator that the head puppeteer has, and each of these three puppeteers has an emotional indicator, is the ears. The ears are really telling us about his sensitivity. And again, they're even more important than their eyes. The ears are sort of like radar. They're showing us where his attention is. So if I do this,
Ooh.
you can see that his attention is with me. So if we then move on to the heart puppeteer, and again, the construction of those front legs, you may find familiar. When he activates that trigger, that curl, what that does is that bends the leg and bends the knee, but it also engages the ankle. And you might recognize that from the hyena method. The front legs has a technical task, the puppeteer has a technical task. He's got to show his weight. He's not bearing any weight on those front legs at all. It's all going through him. So every time he puts a hoof on the floor, he's got to show us that the weight is going through that leg into the body. And then his emotional indicator is probably one of the smallest mechanisms on the horse, but probably the most important. He's showing us the breath of the horse. The horse is, we are seeing that the horse is alive, and that is telling us about the physical state of the horse, whether he is a bit tense and anxious, so the breath is light and fast, whether he's exhausted, it's low and raggedy, or whether he's angry and it might be slow. So but apart from just showing us that, breath is really at the heart of Hans Spring's philosophy about puppetry. Basil is fond of reminding me, what's the difference between an actor and a puppet on stage? An actor, he would suggest, walks on stage and their first port of business is to tell us about the character and start to tell us about the story. A puppet walks on stage and the puppet's first point of business is to be alive. Because it has the possibility not to be alive. And the breath shows us that he's alive. If the guys jump out, if our puppeteers jump out of the horse right now, it will collapse and die. So it's constantly, the puppet is struggling to exist, to be alive on stage. And I believe that it's that fragility, that potential, the potential for life all the time, that makes us engage so strongly with the puppet.